It's Miss Jenny. I'm back. And today I have another book for you. It's called Peanuts Snoopy Takes Off by Charles M. Schulz. Snoopy takes off. And there, you see that little fellow on the top? I wonder what he's doing up there. I hope you enjoy reading like I love to read to you. What is this page called again? This is your front cover, your back cover, and these are the pages. And the words are written by the author, and the picture is drawn and designed and illustrated by an illustrator. Can you say illustrator with me? Yep, that is such an easy word to say. Alrighty, put your listening ears on. This is Snoopy. He may look like a regular dog to you, but in fact, he isn't anything but ordinary. Snoopy doesn't do anything the same way as an ordinary dog, starting with the way he sleeps on his dog house rather than inside it. He sleeps on top of the dog house instead of inside the dog house. How interesting. Charlie Brown is Snoopy's owner. Although a lot of the time it seems like it's the other way around. Meaning, Snoopy is the owner and Charlie Brown is the pet. This is Charlie Brown. And that's Snoopy sitting on top of his head. What a beautiful day, Snoopy thinks. It's the perfect day for me to jump in my plane, soar through the air, and fight the Red Baron. When Snoopy says he's going to jump in his plane, he really means he's going to sit on top of his doghouse. He puts on his goggles, scarf, and helmet. Here's the World War I flying ace, flying across the sky in his Sopwith Camel airplane. Snoopy says, "Where are you, Red Baron? You can't hide from me." Suddenly, Snoopy spots the Red Baron's plane. Yes, he cheers. He is finally going to capture the enemy. Full speed ahead, Snoopy shouts. But as fast as Snoopy is, the Red Baron is faster. He gets away. Again. No! Snoopy shouts, waving his fist. "I will get you, Red Baron. Next time, you are mine." Snoopy takes off his helmet and sits down with a sigh. He turns around and sees Charlie Brown standing with his food dish. Charlie Brown is shaking his head. I wonder what it would be like to have a normal dog, Charlie Brown tells him. Snoopy ignores him and concentrates on enjoying his food. Being a World War I flying ace works up an appetite, you know. Yeah. Later that afternoon, Snoopy is bored, so he decided to write the next great American novel. He put out he puts out his trusty he pulls out his trusty old typewriter and began to write. It was a dark and stormy night. And this is a typewriter. You punch the buttons on the top and it create words, letters, and the letters create words. Let me say that again. You punch the buttons on the top, which create letters, and the letters create words. Linus walked by and is curious. May I see what you have written? He asked. Snoopy nods and hands Linus the page. Your new novel has a very exciting beginning, Linus said. Snoopy smiles proudly. Linus hands back the sheet of paper. Well, good luck with the second sentence, he says. So this is Linus. Lucy is curious about Snoopy's book too. She has a suggestion for him. It was a dark and stormy night. It is a terrible way to begin a story, she says. You should begin your story with once upon a time. That's the way all good stories begin. That's the way all good story begins. And this is Lucy. Now Linus and Lucy are Charlie Brown's friends, but they're also Snoopy's friends too. Snoopy thinks Lucy may be right, so he changed the beginning of his story. He types, once upon a time. It was a dark and stormy night. Ah. Lucy looked at the new sheet of paper and growled. Can't you write about something nice? She asked Snoopy. Snoopy thinks this is a good idea, so he types. Then he stopped typing. And to Lucy's surprise, he jumped off his doghouse. Once upon a time, it was a dark and stormy night. Suddenly, a kiss rang out. And he gave Lucy a big kiss. Ah! I've been kissed by a dog. I've got dog germs. Lucy cries and runs away. That wasn't nearly as romantic as I thought it would be, Snoopy thinks. Smack. Snoopy decides it's time for a dance break. There's nobody Snoopy loves more than there's nothing that Snoopy loves more than dancing. He danced with Charlie Brown. He danced with Linus. He danced with Lucy. Mhm. So here he is dancing with Charlie Brown. Here he is dancing with Lucy. And here he is dancing with Linus. Even he even danced on top of the Schroeder's piano. And Schroeder's doesn't like this very much. I know I'm butchering that name. They should have just said Johnson Pianos. And that I would be able to say better. After all that dancing, it's time for snack. After all that dancing, it's time for snack. Snoopy invites his friends Woodstock to come over for some homemade cookies and milk. Even though Snoopy enjoys the dog's food, the dog food Charlie Brown brings him, he is also a fabulous cook and loves whipping up surprises for his friends. Woodstock loves hanging out with Snoopy and tells him all about his day. Fortunately for Woodstock, Snoopy is fluent in bird and understands every word he says. There is Woodstock. Woodstock wants to go on a camping trip with Snoopy and some of his friends. That's a great idea, Snoopy says. After all, I am a Beetle Scout. A Beagle Scout. Woodstock quickly gathers his friends. Follow, follow me, troops, Snoopy says. And I don't want to see anyone hanging around my feet. The birds are very nervous about the hike. They want to stay as close to Snoopy as possible. So they all fly onto the top of his Beagle Scout hat. Well, at least they paid attention to some of what I said, Snoopy thinks. There they are. On Snoopy's head, on Snoopy's hat, on his head. It isn't long before the birds get very homesick, so Snoopy decided to cut the trip short. It's the perfect time to head home, Snoopy tells them. They knock on Charlie Brown's door. We're just in time for dinner. Huh? Well, I guess now you probably just want to relax for a while, Charlie Brown says. Snoopy looks at him in shock. Relax? Is he kidding? Snoopy pulls out a guitar. It's time for a little after dance music. A little after dinner music. I guess you'll never be an ordinary dog, will you, Snoopy? Charlie Brown says. But you know what? I don't think I'd have it any other way. Neither would I, Snoopy thinks happily. Neither would I. And there you have it, boys and girls. The end of Snoopy Takes Off. See you next time. Adios.